Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. Thank you so much to guys for all of those who joined us for the Sanctuary premiere we did at the end of last week. Really good response there. I think their Discord has bumped up to about 15 or 1600 people since we did that cast, which is fantastic, guys. Had one or two messages from people saying, Guile, why are you shilling that project so hard? Well, it really is very simple, guys. It just comes down to the fact that mainstream developers and mainstream publishers don't care about your gaming preferences if you like RTS. They don't. You are not getting another game from them. It's just as simple as that. If you're ever going to get new, fresh, quality material using modern technology, it's going to come down to people, indie developers like Tatsu and Nine, and people like you and I giving them the backing they need. That's the only way it's going to happen. So go on over there, guys. Check out their Discord. I'll put the links below in the description. And chuck them a bob or two on Patreon while you're at it. Why not? Because they're well worth it. I certainly think so. That's not the only game we're shilling, of course. We are shilling the classic game that you see in all of these casts. If you're not sure what it is, but you like the look of it, it's Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, guys. Not Supreme Commander 2. Can't stress how much you don't want to make that mistake. Lots of people in the comment section still asking me how you can get involved with these games. You're not seeing them on Steam. Well, that's because they're not on Steam. You have to check out the Forged Alliance Forever multiplayer client. Also, you can find the link to that in the description below this and each and every one of my videos. What will it allow you to do? Well, you can come play with us, chat with us, browse our replay vaults, mob vaults, and map vaults, all free of charge, and take advantage of constantly evolving balance. Can't say fairer than that. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get on with today's game. It's going to be custom 7v7 with an eclectic mix of Joes and pros, and that's going down on Adaptive Pyramid. I'm excited! Let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Ching! Ka-ching! Alright, we know what we're dealing with here on Pyramid. This is Team 1 up here at the top. This is Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1. Rearguard air position in spec stats green. It's unknown. Not unknown, but unknown. There he is. He's opening first land and going Aeon. How very sensible for an air player. Next up, and sporting this season's very fashionable UEF, it's Jackhammer 2K. There he is, an Elephantine Grey opening first land. Over towards the centre now on that middle row, it's Alexander Berlin in, what is that? It's Combat Green. Yeah, I think so. Another Aeon, and he is opening first land. Team member number 4, next up in Fabulous Vivacious Violet, it's Albertard going Aeon, opening first land. And now on to the front row, there we have the lifetime recipient of Guilecast's Fabulous Personality Award, none other than Maverick. We'll see who he abuses today. It'll all depend, of course, on how his team is doing. He's a friend, it's fine, he won't mind. There he is in Mellow Yellow, going UEF, opening first land. Over towards the centre, it's Seal Force going Aeon and going first land. And last but not least, in Baby Pink, it's Valone. There he is going UEF, opening first land. So what have we got there? Is that 4? I think that's 4 Aeon and 3 UEF by the looks of things there for Team 1. Let's check out Team 2. I'm going to scale it back on speed a little bit as we've already got units pouring out there from Team 2. Rearguard air position, first of all, it's Secundant. There he is, and Halley Orange going Seraphim, opening first land. To his north, we've got Didier Motje. Is that a football player or a soccer player, as far as Americans would be concerned? I'm not sure. I know nothing about football or soccer, whichever part of the world you're talking about. There it is. Off he goes anyway. He's going Seraphim in lime green, opening first land and going a second air. In the center, going his customary burgundy red, it's AI Dominic's, another Seraphim, and he's opening first air. Interesting decision. Far bottom corner, going UEF and going fecal brown, another interesting decision. It's Okpuk. There he is. He's opening first land and going second land, third air. Onto the front row. Is he still in his main base? Yes, it is. It's Anarchy, or Anarchy, because all I can think of when I see that is Jar Jar Binks now, and that's all you're going to think of now when you see this guy in game, is Jar Jar Binks' voice. You're welcome. Anyway, he's leaving his main base, and now off towards the center, and he's going Seraphim, opening first and second land. On the front row, almost at the main pyramid, it's another guy who sounds like he should be out of Star Wars, General Valdobi. And he is going Seraphim in electric blue. He opened first land, and he's going land all day up front by the looks of things. And last but not least, loaded with MSG. There he is, Opening, what did he open? First air, interesting decision. And he's going UEF in Ferrari red, and then going second land. So there we have it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4? No, 5, sorry. 5 Seraphim and 2 UEF there for Team 2. Game quality at 93%. That's perfectly acceptable balance as far as we're concerned. And the essential talent ranges pretty dramatically. Lowest rated player, I think, in today's game is down at 1,000. That's AI Dominix, I think. I don't think there's another one that low. And then we've got a couple of 1200s there for Didier Mottier and Anarchy. And highest rated player, I think, is Okpuck at 1,800. And then we've also got another 1,500 there and a 1,700 for MSG. So ranging amounts, but Team 1, a very much more condensed group of talent there in terms of global ranking at least. Mech Marines out from Maverick. I think we can afford to give it some normal time now. It's going to pick up an engineer kill over here. The other one over here did manage to kill a Selen, maybe one or two other things as well before he finally bought the farm, so to speak. Mass extractor here. Looks like it might get taken down or not as a Tham turns up to save it. There is, of course, one more Snoop over here. He's probably going to bug out, though, and save that by the looks of things. One cheeky Selen cloaked up and nestling down here on the mechs just to make life difficult there for anyone on Team 1 who wants to come and claim that. Cheeky little Anarchy with his covert operations. MSG pushing forward up towards this little grove. Is it a grove or is it the opposite of grove? Is a grove a clearing in a forest or is it a forest in a clearing? Answers in the comment section below. And no Googling pretending you knew already just to sound clever. Can't stand that. Only clever people need apply. Seal Force has now reached the pyramid in the center and starts the proverbial mass scooping operation. General Valdobi having a break for a moment in his ACU there, hotboxing the cockpit with a couple of cigarettes. Why not? It's probably very passé to mention such things in this day and age, in 2021, on YouTube, with its clientele of young, impressionable folk. Transport laden heavily with engineers there from Unknown, who's going up for these corner mass extractors in a big way. Actually not making a play on that. He's going to let his teammate Jackhammer pick that up, but we'll probably start some mass scooping soon. Maybe he's just going for all the mass and he's not going to make a play for the mexes, but he really is dropping all over the map, looking for as much mass as possible. The shooting downs of the transport has gone well there for Secundus. Not sure if he took out any units, so to speak. Oh, the little Selen on the mechs didn't survive. Alas, wasn't to be. Interceptors tangle over in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Secundant, sorry, coming second in that little engagement. Gun upgrades on the way all round. Okpup going for a gun upgrade, as is Anarchy, as is Valone up here, all going for a little bit of Rambo commage. Why not? Secundant has pulled his comm all the way from the backfield and brought it up to the pyramid now, not sitting on his backside teching up in his main base, rushing towards T3 Air. I mean, he will be rushing towards T3 Air, but no, he's putting that ACU firepower to good use, or at least we imagine he will be soon. AI Dominix and Seal Force converging on one another. Won't be too long before they open shop on hostilities. Shots fired. Seal Force feels the brunt of those first few blasts before responding. Secundant standing still to absorb all of the T1 artillery fire before deciding to move. Lost about 2,000 hit points there, potentially unnecessarily, but it's easier said than done when you've got lots of things to concentrate on. Lovely little overcharge from Valone, picks up 3 engineer kills, and then a few more blasts, picks up the other 4 or 5. Really wrecking face and wreaking havoc amongst the build capacity up front belonging to General Valdobi. General Valdobi, who's routed to the spot on a gun upgrade, but that's about to finish, so he's about to be able to go toe-to-toe with Valone and his gun upgraded comm. Speed versus damage. All works out to similar DPS in the end. Valdobi, of course, giving up a few hit points to his UEF opponent. Anarchy and Dominic's managing to push Seal Force back, who's dropped back to assist with the gun upgrade on Berlin over here. How much damage will be unleashed, though, on these structures around here before that comm gets put into action? It's going straight for the next upgrade. It's going double sniper comm. Anarchy now in range, so at least he can fire back. Both of these comms going to focus on Alexander and try and cancel that. They're running out of time if that's the idea. Dominic's going for some anti-air defense on that commander. Anarchy going to assist. Help protect those commanders from any sudden gunship. Well, there won't be any sudden gunship attacks. No Cybrin featured in today's game, of course, so no T1 gunships on the field. But T1 bombers, always a threat, of course. Nano repair on the way for Valone. So a lot of resources being poured into beefing up commanders here. Berlin did manage to finish that second gun upgrade, so we've got a double upgraded comm. Damage, range, and rate of fire just generally pretty horrible all round. Those static anti-air emplacements not looking like they're going to last very long against this commander, but they do manage to take out a couple of aircraft as they fly overhead. What's going on down here at the bottom right? Okpak facing off against Maverick and Albertard. Albertard's taken a battering. He's down to about 5,000 hit points just below. Maverick continuing to press, though. He's got some artillery along with him, and the emplacements that Okpak was trying to throw down have been comfortably brushed aside by these two advancing comms from Team 1. Albertard on about 4,500, hasn't absorbed that much incoming fire as Okpak's been predominantly concerned with this encroaching spam from Maverick, but it's still 2v1. Okpak desperately short of assistance, needs some kind of help from his teammates. He's getting some in around the back here from Anarchy, but it's a long way from where it's needed as Okpak goes into the red. Could this be our first exit? 2,300 hit points, but Albertard in trouble as well as Okpak manages to get a decent surround on him. Are we going to get a draw from these two? Yes, we are. Albertard and Okpak both taking each other out, and somewhere in the nuclear fire Maverick is alive, presumably. We've seen no exit notification for him, and he had a lot of hit points when we last saw him. There he is, still sitting pretty on about 7,200 HP, and he's going to be able to solidify his position now with some defenses, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Starts with some railguns, concerned about his positioning in the field and the sudden bomber rush. And he's also queued up some point defense as well, but he needs to be quick. We've got units pouring in now from Anarchy. MSG starting a tactical missile upgrade on his commander. He's scooped up that Grove, or anti-Grove, whatever it was, whatever we decided it was. And actually that whole top left-hand corner has fallen into the possession of Team 2. As Didier has pushed up to that position right into the top left. Maverick completes one plasma cannon, which will give him a little bit of breathing room against these incoming forces. Anarchy advancing with his comm, needs to be careful. He's not looking too healthy either. He's on about 6,200 hit points. We have more T1 spam coming down this valley from Maverick, and more pushing in as well from Anarchy, and in fact some of it is now T2. He's completed that Tech 2 land upgrade. We've got the first Ilshiva entering service. Maverick pushing out towards the bottom right-hand corner away from Anaki's commander. Maverick with a T2 upgrade on his comm. Anaki with a gun upgrade on his commander. So in a fight, Maverick is going to lose that if it's straight up without too much extra assistance from other units, which is probably why we're seeing Maverick hightail it away from danger. Forward progression from SEAL Force. General Valdobi has dropped away from that plateau altogether, and in fact the entire plateau is now in Team 1's hands. If we take a very quick look at what they can see, that is all Team 1 in the center. Top left corner, of course, in the hands of Team 2. And at the moment, bottom right corner still contested. Engineers for Maverick trying to shore up this position along with Maverick's commander. Anaki got a rank in vet, which made him look a little bit healthier, but he's slowly getting beaten down bit by bit. Maverick tries to get another point defense, but Anaki says, nope, you're not having that. And now Maverick's looking a little bit peaky as Anaki continues to push against him. He's about to go into the red. He's on about 4,000 hit points. Anaki, sorry, I called him Anakin there. Anaki continuing to press. Maverick gets in around that little hillock. Oh, and a strap bomb over the top. Maverick is surely done. Down to 300, 100, no 100 hit points. Down he goes. Anaki gets the kill there thanks to inbound T1 spam of his and a little bit of assistance from Secundant. Strat over the top. I think the Strat got himself shot down as there are ASFs kicking around from unknown, but they got the kill. And of course, full share not on in this game, so a scalp really is a scalp, and it's a major blow to your team. MSG with that tactical missile upgrade, lobbing missiles across the field, probably at the resourcing options of Team 1. Yes, indeedy. Down goes a T2 mechs on the hillock there. Shield gen, triad point defense, cheeky little hydro. MSG looking strong with that T2 engineering suite, gun upgrade and tac missile launcher. He's got everything a large robot needs except company. A little bit of company inbound perhaps there from Didier. And yes, robots need friendship too. Terminator would have been a very different film if they'd have just had some solid counseling for the robots. Oh, but Anakin gets counter-strap bombed. And now I don't have to get mixed up between Anaki and Anakin anymore, and you don't have to picture Jar Jar Binks' voice. Nice work there from Unknown, who repays in kind the strap bomb attack from a moment ago on Maverick. SEAL Force has pushed all the way down to cut off this bottom right-hand corner with his commander. With Anaki's demise, all of the pressure down here has gone from Team 2, and they need to work really hard to shore up this area now, because SEAL Force has got some shield coverage and some blazes as well for that comm, although the comm not advancing with the rest of the units. Some T1 bombers from Didier harassing this T1 and T2 spam. Just straying into range there from this point defense. We have a major push though on the way up here against MSG's position. But MSG with a lot of backup. He's got these Ilshivas. Valone in potentially dangerous territory as they try and take down this shield gen. It's Valone, it's Alexander Berlin, and it's some ground spam from Jackhammer, all advancing on this position. MSG still in very solid position in terms of health on that comm. He's got about 12,000 hit points, but he needs to worry about these strap bombers that just took out his teammate. MSG backing up down into the yellow now, but gets a crucial rank in vet, back up to about 12,000 hit points. He's tidying up the spam first of all, and then he can go toe-to-toe with these other comms. Berlin on about 10,000 hit points, Valone on about 8,000. MSG down to 6,000 with that latest strap bomb attack over the top. Has now got some assistance from Secundant, who shoots that strap bomber down. And now some inbound Volthus as well from Secundant, who look like they're about to lock on to Alexander. And now time for a little counter pressure. Alexander's going to have to back up. Sub 6,000 hit points now, sub 5,000, below 4,000 into the red. 2 gunships down, 1 remaining. We've got T1 anti-air, which seems to have been enough. Berlin out of danger for the time being, still very low on health though, 2,900 hit points there. And what looked like a very, very eventful engagement seems to have petered out. But they've acquired some territory. MSG has been dislodged from this position up here. That shield, that triad taken down. And Berlin survives to fight another day. Alone, throwing down some defenses. Not a terrible idea after that last engagement. This next encounter down here, if they're going to continue to press anytime soon, will be a harder nut to crack. More point defense going down. And I'm sure MSG will load up on the defenses. Meanwhile, that attack down here from Seal Force also petered out. We've had a bit of expansionary pressure on the ground from Valdobi, who's trying to shore up this position. Got a few Ilshevers on patrol, clearing out vulnerable targets. Is that a little bit of artillery fire? Yes, it is. A couple of emplacements down there from Dominic's, putting pressure on those central bases up around the pyramid. Fascinating opening 18 minutes it's been so far. The team that's had the better run of the mass game, unquestionably Team 2, 345k mass versus 280. And the reclaim figures are actually pretty close between the two. Team 2 on about 62k, Team 1 on about 64, and yet that massive differential. So there's a huge, or there has at least been a huge income advantage so far for Team 2. I'm wondering if that's going to manifest in late game gains. Whether all of that eco will represent itself in a burst of new offensive machinery. How are we looking on the kill loss side of things? Well, Team 1 has done better, and this is what you would expect to see. The team that has not accrued nearly as much mass has had to fight harder and be more successful to achieve a relatively even result, and it is even. We've lost 2 players a team, and the map more or less split down the middle, with the exception, of course, of this bulge in the center, all currently in the hands of Team 1 up in the top right. Main ground strength so far seems to be with Didier and MSG up here at the top. Didier getting an upgrade on his commander. That's actually his com's first upgrade. 45% in climbing. And those 2 artillery pieces of Dominic's there just doing the work that they need to be doing. The shield's down. Emplacements are down. There's a tactical missile launcher with 2 loaded there that's begging for an artillery strike. See if they can actually reach. That's easily in range. Hasn't actually been scouted yet by Team 2 though, so they are oblivious to the threat. Valone having repped up nicely now that he's got that nano repair upgrade on his commander. Happy to face down against what is a very sizable horde of Ilshivas advancing forward. Down goes the parashield. Down goes the main shield that he was building behind it. Valone at full health, 18,900 hit points. Starting to shed that though. Forward they go. Into the yellow Valone. But he's got support and a lot of it. 2 comms rolling up to help repel this attack, and I think they've managed it. Look at that instant retreat as soon as they recognize the presence of 2 more commanders. They're like, nope, save those forces for later. No good pressing that attack. But that is how things look. It definitely looks like, territory-wise, there's a solid advantage for Team 1. Bombers shot down. Only Team T1 bombers, though, looking for easy kills against what is a very sizable horde of build capacity in the middle. Good air coverage from Unknown. And we've got a lot of T3 spam now on the field. Harbingers strolling around this central plateau. Seal Force looking very dangerous indeed, and not surprising considering he's sitting on 2 base with the demise of Maverick and outperforming just about everybody else on the field in terms of eco. So no surprises there. We do have siege tanks though from Valdobi, so some Tech 3 parity for Team 2. Oh, is that a Ravager? Yes, it is. T3 engineering suite on board MSG's comms allowed him to throw down some Tech 3 point defense. Valone receiving the patter of tiny shells, the clatter of long-range point defense fire on his ACU's chassis. Always a good feeling, I'm sure. Alexander Berlin receiving the Ravager treatment also. Show you what he can hit with that. Not much further in. Engineers vulnerable, and what might be a Mex. That is a Mex vulnerable. Not much of anything else though. Flapjack mobile missile launchers on the ridge, coming under T1 assault over here, but they're shielded and they've got Mongoose support. That sounds distinctly like a chicken, and there it is, an Ethota from AI Dominic's storming its way up through the center, just west of that pyramid. Waypoint command there, sending it in up towards this position. Is he going to try and break this once and for all and allow MSG to advance? Potentially. Going to break this flapjack position first of all, along with MSG's comm. Brushed aside with no issues there. Threat brewing though from all of this T3 spam. Valdobi at the bottom working very hard on creating a solid Maginot line, but I don't think he's got the defenses yet to keep all these Harbingers out. All depends how committed Seal Force is. Tears through that Tech 2 point defense, and then on to the next. Another few batteries. Some of these of course shielded. That'll give him some more breathing room. T1 bombers in over the top from Valdobi. What's going on up here at the top? Valone under threat potentially as Ilshivas bearing down on his commander. The chicken hung a right turn and is now running rampant through the center, which is pretty much cleared out now for Team 2. Valone getting surrounded. I'd like to go to split screen, but I don't want to miss it. Don't think Valone's going to die here. Too much flak, not enough Ilshivers left. I think he'll be alright to contain that, but that first base has been blown through by the Harbingers. But there's a lot of point defense in the main base for Valdobi. They're not going to manage to break that. They do finally finish off that badly damaged T3 mechs that they stomped their way past. Vulthu production switched over to for Secundant. Has to get in and take out the flak first of all, and then go to town on what's left. Speaking of gunships, Restorers from Unknown locking onto that Ethota, trying to bring it down. Secundant responds by sending in his ASFs, taking out all but 3 of the gunships. Will they get any more? Down goes another one. They're going to lose that final battle in the skies, but they'll have done enough damage to keep that Ethota going. Ooh, where is Seal's comm? Secundant has been defeated. Wow. How? By the Harbingers in his own base. The Harbingers get all the way around the back and manage to kill off Secundant. Did not expect that. Oh, and they nearly had a new Ethota there to protect him as well. Dominic's just a little late with that. Couldn't keep his teammate alive. Just brutal. Solid pressure though from Seal Force, who's just blitzed his way through here. He has lost the middle thanks to that Ethota. Where is Seal Force's comm? Well, that's safe all the way back at base. So it's not going to run any risk of suddenly getting taken out. Where's MSG? Well, he's pushed forward, started work on a Fat Boy, but he's also launching missiles in towards the main bases and having some solid progress with that. You can see he's taken out some mexes. Ouch! That one was on its way to becoming T3. Excuse me. Finally, that gap, that hole is plugged, but at what cost? Losing their air player. That has gotta hurt. Team 2 now a man down. 5 versus 4. But look at that whopping mass difference. 153 versus 708. Fat Boy Experimental still under construction. MSG throwing down a bunch of point defense. Maybe he's worried about some tele-snipe. Shouldn't be too worried. We've got no filthy Cyberins today. But we've got a GC now. I was just about to say, we really haven't seen much in the way of experimentals from Team 1. That's indicative of a team that's so far behind in mass total. But they are starting to flow now. Has an opportunity been missed? Should these chickens have been sent just into the main bases? Certainly they'll be happy for the breathing room that those have created. Another experimental, this from Valdobi now, and it's another Ethota stomping its way towards the center. Their real vulnerability, Team 2 now, is in the air, having lost their air player. And this will be where Team 1 capitalize on it. In come the Restorer gunships to try and take down these Ethotas. Dominic's responds with what ASFs he has. We do have a couple of T3 anti-air lightning tanks. And the Restorers are going to go after those first of all, so they can have a free run at the experimentals. Down goes one. Down goes another. Dominix brings those experimentals back to try and get their flak into play. Their flak is very modest. Oh, Restorers primarying the stronger one. That's not a great idea. And then they notice the mistaken switch before withdrawing as more lightning tanks come into the fold. Oh, look at that. So the GC from Alexander kills off that fat boy before completion. MSG manages to get his comm out of danger somehow. GC absorbing some Ravager fire, but it's just the one. It's going to take more than that. Is MSG about to lose this fire base? It certainly looks like he might be. Restorers locking onto his commander. It's a very chunky comm at 22,500 hit points. But there is flak around here to come and protect. He needs to bring that other flak further down. Restorers all bunching up though, so AoE doing its job. There's going to be a lot of dead Restorers. That's a lot of mass that Unknown is throwing away here. And MSG with a mobile shield is going to get himself some cover. There's absolutely no hope of him getting a comm kill there. GC takes down the Ravager and the shield gen. Ilshiva's surging forward along with some T1 spam. Trying to tie up that Colossus as much as possible so they can get the Ithota in range to attack it. But Alexander bugging out with that GC. Definitely doesn't want to throw it away. Wants to consolidate back here with the Percivals. Is somehow in range though. Taking Ithota fire. I didn't realize their range was that good. That's extraordinary. Huge quantities of HP stripped off that Colossus. Valdobi stops momentarily, assessing his options, taking some Demolisher fire from over here though. Wants to deal with that, or at least get on the move and avoid it. The experimentals really are coming thick and fast now as we enter the late stages of the game. Ouch, strap bomber shot down over here by something. Don't even know what it was. But Seal Force now with two full health Colossus over here with Redeemer support, with shields, with Harbingers. I say Redeemer support, there's one in there, but it's better than nothing, especially under shield coverage. And Dominic's concerned about the advance of those two GCs, withdraws his experimentals from the center to help defend. He's got a lot of ground to cover though. Going to be hoping Seal Force doesn't head straight on in, but it certainly looks like he's about to. Not one for missing an opportunity. Down goes the shields. Down go the defenses. Nice little bank of point defense on the ridge here, with more still to come. But there are the Ithotas, and that does prompt a second thought, at least from one of them. That's going to turn tail and run. This one potentially with an open door. No, it's not going to carry on. I wondered if we'd see him plunging on into the backfield, maybe trying to go after Dominic's comm or his base. Oh, don't take your focus. Don't take your laser face off him. First chicken down. Ion Storm soon to start. In come more Restorers again from Unknown. Dominic seemingly unsure about where to place that next Ithota. He tries to get it as close to that damaged one over there as possible. Oh, but there go the Storms, proccing hugely on the Colossus. Down goes one of them, the second one badly damaged. on about 2,000 hit points. Just gets out of trouble by the looks of things. Just barely. Oh, but also absorbing artillery fire, gets finished off by those batteries, which has certainly earned their payday in today's game. Healthy looking Colossus up here. In fact, two of them, and backed up by a Fat Boy. And this dynamic we saw of split down the middle has definitely been shaken up slightly. That bulge we saw in the center is gone. The strong position up here has been torn apart. Corner still firmly in Team 2's possession. Didier, sorry. Getting him confused with Drogba now. Didier benefiting from that. Stop for a moment just to take a look at the numbers. Seal Force almost at 500 mass. Unknown at 300. Berlin 126. Jackhammer 100. Valone 100. Compare that to Dominic's, who is spiking around 400, but I think it's more like 244. 213 for Didier. General Valdobi. Yeah, spiking. I thought that had to be reclaim. Seems to be more like in the 140s, 150s, something like that. And then MSG on about 169. Seal Force looking to eradicate Didier from this top left-hand corner, and looks like he's going to do it with the support of that Fat Boy as well. Nothing to stop that blue GC. Should be able to tear all of this infrastructure out with his laser face, and indeed that's what he's going to do. Greetings, corner base. Meet my face. Definitely wants to finish off that T3 land factory that's still producing units. Fat Boy
strategic launch
peppering things up here. Nice little TAC missile base over here. I wonder if that's going to take a shot at that Fat Boy, but that nuke actually out from here. MSG throwing that one together. Where's that headed? Oh, is that headed over to Seal Force? It looks like it might be. Seal Force's comm in residence. He's trying to evac it. That's going to be very, very close, and a massive win if they manage to take out their big player. Boom! Oh! Massive nuke. Possibly resembling an epic turnaround in this game. Seal Force cross that hasn't been scouted. Maverick cross that no one had strategic missile defense. And that is a huge, huge win for Team 2 that were properly on the back foot for the last 20 minutes or so. They lose everything down in this portion of the map. Just wow. As we get a couple of Titans steaming in against MSG's position, his main base. Didier moving in to intercept, and they do just that. But that is shocking, absolutely shocking oversight on both the scouting and the SMD. At nearly 40 minutes, they should have solid base coverage up. But wonderful play from MSG, spotting that they didn't, scouting the comm and managing to take him out, and now transitioning into a Duke, some T3 static artillery. Stonager. A wonderful name for something. It's like Onager, but with a st in front of it. Shades of Rome Total War. On the plus side for Team 1, they finally finish off Didier's presence in the top left-hand corner. Still one or two mexes to be picked off, but otherwise that is down and out. And a Tsar out from unknown. Gonna need some fighter screen, and there it is, to help keep that bad boy alive. But we've got a lot of ASFs down here from Dominic's now, who picked up the mantle from his partner, Secundant, who died. We've got 69 ASFs there. We're going to have to keep an eye on that nuke. Where's that going? Dominic's goes in after the Tsar, and even with that new shield, it doesn't take long to get torn apart. And now Unknown is going to get pulled apart by a nuke to the face. Boom! That was almost on his doorstep. Wow. You get the impression they just weren't that interested. After that, no point in trying to keep your comm alive. I think they're capitulating with the loss of their star ground man down here from SEAL Force. And now the experimentals are fixed to run rampant through the main bases. They can split these Ithotas up if they want to, send one in towards Alexander and the other two in here. We have got a GC for Alexander being brought back. Valone ballsily walking out with his comm, with that personal shield. He's been locked onto. The shield hit points are evaporating very quickly. There's a second Ithota, remember, though. The first one is downed. He's got inbound parashield coverage and a GC to help protect, but he's very nearly down and out, and there he goes as well. Just falling like dominoes. And the other Ithota did make it into the main base. Valdobi got up there with his own Ithota. A wonderful push to finish off everything after those two spectacular nukes. Alexander Berlin on the run with his commander. But there really feels like there's no escape at this point. He brings in his GC to try and kill off the Ithota that's wiping out his base, but there's a lot of siege tanks surrounding it, and the Ithota survives temporarily before getting brought down by Fatboy fire. Valdobi's Ithota doesn't quite make it, but there's another Fatboy inbound now from Dominic's. Just Jackhammer and Berlin are left, and all of the movement is now from bottom left to top right. One lone GC down here for Berlin as the siege tanks stroll into the main base. Quite a few of them focusing down the Percival first of all. Jackhammer's commander's got about 18,000 hit points. Shield is down on the Fatboy. Corsairs go in for the attack. Jackhammer manages to get under the shield. The main shield blinks on, protecting Alexander as well. I think they're going to run out of siege tanks before really threatening the comms on this attack. Is there any strategic missile defense, though? One more nuke will finish this off, and guess what? There's a nuke ready.
Strategic launch detected.
There it goes. And look where it's headed. Where did Berlin's comm go? Has he evac'd him somewhere? I think he must have. Jackhammer is resigned to accepting his fate. Kaflooey. Berlin did evac his comm. Where to exactly? He has some infrastructure over here. Oh, and an experimental bomber. There he is. He walked forward into the fray. Bosh! Wow, what a spectacular collapse from Team 1, who seem to have it all in the bag, but it's amazing what a well-placed nuke can do. Total scouting fail, not reading that earlier, and an SMD fail. Let's face it, even if you don't scout it, go for the SMD anyway and have it loaded at 40 minutes, for goodness sake. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, if you feel so inclined, you've seen everything on the main channel. There are some 29, I believe, casts over on the Patreon. Premium viewing only for just $1 a month. That's an absolute steal content-wise. Go check it out, guys. Also, links, don't forget, in the description to the Patreon for Sanctuary and their Discord. So go check that out too, guys. But until next time, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.